Okay, this should be the last video for a little while. I waited to do the CRM one last because I wanted to try to train everybody on the CRM on your computer. The CRM software on your cell phone is not really intended to do a lot of data entry and updates to the system. It's really to be able to give you access to everything you're doing on your computer remotely. So if you're out in the field and you need a person's phone number, you need a person's email address, you want to reference their POC, you can now gain access to everything from your cell phone. If you have an individual's POC saved on your hard drive, or you have it saved somewhere that you can't access from your phone, you're kind of in trouble. You got to get back to them later when you can get in front of your laptop. If you create deals and you create leads and you create contact information and you put all of your emails attachments to them, you attach your floor drawings or your specs for your ProMasters in the actual deal along with the signed POC, then you can access all that stuff right from your phone quickly if you need to. So again, just to reiterate, the cell phone application is really to gain access to everything you're doing on your desktop or your laptop from your cell phone remotely. However, you can make updates, you can add in events, you can log calls, but it's a little bit more cumbersome than doing that stuff when you can sit down at your desk on a keyboard and a mouse and enter it in a little bit more fluidly. So, in saying that, let's go through the app real quick. Again, I have it in my little ZOHO folder here. It's going to be the one with the handshake, which is ZOHO CRM. It'll launch us into our main home screen. So in this particular instance, I don't have anything logged for me yet today. I have been focusing on training everybody else, so I have not really inputted a lot of my information in yet. However, I can add in a new event, I can add in a new task, or I can add in a new call right from this main screen, as you can see, since I have no activities for this particular day. Now, if I did have activities for this day saying, hey, don't forget to follow up with this person or make sure you make this phone call, they would show up on this day, and I can bounce through my different days here to show you that depending on which day I'm in, it will give me the activities for that particular day. So, unfortunately, I don't have any to show you at the moment just because I haven't had any put in, but that's where they will show up on your home screen. So, to go through, I can click on this upper left-hand corner, and it'll give me all the information that you're already familiar with from the main desktop version. So I can click on leads. I can see all the leads that are in the system, which I have access to everybody currently for my training purposes, or I can click this little arrow. I can then go in and look at particular items that I want to. I can look at converted leads, junk leads, mailing labels. I can go to my leads. Obviously, like I said, I do not have any leads in yet because I haven't added them in. However, I would be able to narrow down to my leads if I needed to. Okay, so in this case, I can go back to all leads. Let's just use this Arthur as an example. Here's a lead that Adam had put in with a phone number, and I can see it. I can add attachments. I can add tasks right from here. I can add events or log calls directly from this screen. Okay. I can click the little edit button up here in the upper right hand corner, and I can go in and modify and change this in any way that I like. Okay, I can add additional notes. Let's say I got off the phone and talked to him. I can log my call and add in some specific notes to that while I'm thinking of it while I'm on the road. Again, my suggestion is to not sit here and type a dissertation on everything I discussed. I would just log the call, keep it very generic, and then when I got back home later, I can dump my brain out into there on my keyboard, which is a heck of a lot easier than doing it on my cell phone. Okay, so there is full functionality on your phone. It's just more cumbersome than doing it on a desktop or a laptop. Okay, so then I can bounce back, click the left-hand corner again, and then I can go into my contacts. So here are the contacts again. All contacts are listed, and this one I do have some in there, so I can click to my contacts. I can see my individual contacts here that I've put in so far. I can click on my particular customer. It will show me my customer, my phone number, the account that it's attached to. You can see the deals that I've already put in here for this particular client, so I can click on those deals. It'll bounce me right into that, and I can see the specifics. So I know this is one of 10 vehicles that this customer has ordered. It is a signed POC and it is done, and you can see the activity of my deal right from the contact screen. Okay, so I was in contacts. Let's go back. So I was under my contact screen, but I clicked into Hassan. Therefore, once I was in Hassan, I was able to see all the deals, the accounts associated to him, and so on and so forth. Okay, everything is related and intertwined, so that's great. If you're in deals, you can bounce to an account. If you're in the account, you can bounce to your contacts. As long as they're linked to one another, they're all intersected and they work together. I could click on the deals button here and it gives me all my details. So I can see when I created it, the last time I modified it, the last activity. It has all the information in here. I can email him directly from here. I can click the mobile phone number right from here and it will call the customer. There's my address information. So, and you have all your additional stuff down below. So down below, the left-hand corner is your email. The right-hand corner is your phone call. I can click this particular mailing one, which is next to the phone call, and I can select which address I want to pull up. I can click on this one, and by allowing, it will then take me right into my Google Maps in order to show me where that particular client is. Okay, so let's bounce into accounts. Accounts is the same thing that you're already familiar with. Again, I can click in here just to narrow it down and look at only my accounts. So these are my accounts that I've put in for one reason or another. Again, I can access 360 Care. It'll show me the deals I have for that particular customer, my contacts down below, and all that information. I can update it from this screen. I can look at the details for this particular customer, or I can just reference it while I'm on the road and say, hey, I need to give him a call and follow up with him. I can call him right from my phone. I can email him right from my phone. I can GPS his address right from my phone. So it helps you tremendously when you're on the road and you're trying to establish some connections while you're out in the field. Your deals works the same way I showed you before. So again, I'm looking just at my deals. So it categorizes them by the day that I entered them in. So I put one in on the 2nd, and I put all these ones in yesterday after doing some of my calls with you guys. You can see the deals I put in back on January 31st. Different ones based on different dates that I've had them logged, and then you can see what's going on with my particular deals. Again, I can click on one particular deal, pull it up, I can see any attachments I have, which would be the POCs that are attached, any of the details that I need to, I can click on details. It tells me that this is a 10-van deal, signed off and waiting for financing to be completed. So I know exactly what the status is, as does Mindy or Ellie if they happen to go into my account and check out this deal. Okay? Your tasks. Again, I really don't have a lot of tasks. I have one in here that I put in for my new ambulance I sold. So I just put in here to follow up with R&D on the progress of this vehicle. I bumped it out to February 1st. That's giving them time to get the designs built and get everything finished. And then I want to follow up with them on February 1st in order to say, hey, where are we with the build process? I know it's not going to be delivered till the end of February, beginning of March. So that's giving me time to see where we're at and then give feedback back to both my dealer and my client. Okay, events. I don't have any particular events scheduled, but today I am going to book events because I'll be traveling to Michigan next week to show off ambulances. So I'll be putting in those leads and those clients that I'm going to meet. I'll be able to lock in my events in here so that everybody will be able to see my activity and say, oh, Aaron's going to visit this customer on Monday at 10. I'm meeting this customer Tuesday at 3. And then when I'm done with those clients, I can go back into those events. I can close those events out and update my notes on the status of what's happening. So I met with them. They're very interested. The next task I'm doing is to create a POC for that client and get it over to them for signature. That would be an example of updating an event and then adding in a new task or a new event based on the activity that occurred during that event. Okay? Calls. You can go in here and you can log your calls. It'll show you exactly what calls you have placed and which ones you have logged. I can click the plus button and I can go in and add a new call in. So again, just like I showed you on the computer, logging a call manually, you can log a call manually this way. Again, the best way to show an example would be if I were to call a client or a client would call me on my cell phone. If they are in the contact listing, when you're done, it will show up and it will say, hey, here is so-and-so has just contacted you. Would you like to log this call? When you hit yes, you'll walk through and you'll update it just like I just showed you in order to log that particular call. Okay? And that's pretty much it. If you need to go into your settings to make any necessary changes, you can change the color, you can change some of the modules and the text and different things like that if you want to. You can update when your calendar starts and some basic components. Now, you may have it slightly different settings and different minor looks of how it looks like if you're using an iPhone, but overall the functionality should be very similar. So that's pretty much it, using the ZOHO CRM on your cell phone compared to using it on the desktop. I know I've said this several times, but use this as a tool to help you manage your day. The more you can dump off of Post-it notes and chicken scratch or whiteboards or any of those things and put it into the computer, the less you'll have to be searching for papers, the less you'll accidentally forget something. You'll go, oh, I was supposed to meet with Ellie today at 2, and you totally forgot because you've been eating lunch and we're talking to 6 customers, and next thing you know, it's 2:30 and you missed your appointment. So if we log it into the computer and we get it into our CRM, not only is it giving us a history to show Ellie and Mindy what we're working on every day, but it's also helping keep us organized and holding us accountable to the things we say we're going to do when we're going to do them. So if you have any other questions, please let me know. Have a great day. Bye-bye.